Hello, sweet souls. This is your last reading of the day. We're going to call on St. Michael. St. Michael, please transmute all negative energy to positive, centered myself or the viewer. We're going to call on the Holy Spirit, angels, saints, spirit guides, and ancestors, and ask for a message for your greater good. We pray for truth and only truth for the greater good of the beautiful collective. I love the readings I've gotten today. So far, they've been pretty amazing. There is a shift in the energy with this supermoon. You can expect a lot of karma. You're going to see a lot of karma. You're also going to see for yourself things falling into place, alignment. So let's look. Overall energy. Holy Spirit, what is the overall energy for today's reading? Overall energy. Yeah, you've been dealing with someone that has been very deceptive, deception and envy. They're in emotional withdrawal. This is someone that their heart chakra is being ripped open. I got this message a few days ago, maybe a week ago. This is a very tyrannical energy. This is someone that likes to control, dominate, and bully. Their heart chakra is being ripped wide open, and it has to do with their foundation. See, they've been operating an ego. This could also have to do with a union that they're in. There's something about this connection they're in that is highlighting a truth to this person. And it is opening up their heart chakra. And I feel like this heart chakra activation has to do with what they threw away with you, how they treated you, how they were abusive to you. So let's see. Current energy. Yeah, death. Transformation is occurring in this person's reality. What is the obstacle? Healing is an obstacle. This person has avoided healing their whole life, and so they find it an obstacle to reflect, to be accountable, and to heal. What is the advice? Go the distance. I feel like you are a living example of if this person would put in the work, it would be long lasting because you're the living example of this. They know what they put you through and they know where you are today. What is the outcome? What is the outcome? The blockage. If they say no to the healing, if they say no to being accountable, changing their life, they're going to continue to repeat cycles, unfinished symphony. They're always going to feel like they have not completed anything. They haven't accomplished anything. Unfinished business. It's never complete. They never attain what they think that they want. They can never receive it. You have Treasure Island. I feel this person going round and round would love to attain Treasure Island, but they don't want to do the work to get there. So let's just see. All right. Current energy, transformation, regeneration, unending, regeneration. Wow. So we have this tyrannical energy that joined forces with a gold digger. They don't feel like they can move beyond this situation, but they're getting truth and clarity. There's some truth and clarity that is creating an ending. Why do they feel like they can't leave this situation? They're in mental anguish, haunted, stressed out, but why do they think that they cannot leave or move beyond it? Because of money. King of Pentacles on the fence. This is someone that is feeling like they are bound to a gold digger for financial resources that if they were to leave, they would not be able to survive. This is a marriage or a long-term commitment that they're in. The obstacle is healing. Why is healing an obstacle? They're facing death no matter what. It's ending. Why is healing an obstacle? Why is healing an obstacle? You know, I feel like you've learned to love yourself, to put all of your energy into you, to heal your wounds, to rely on your intuition, and you are happy. And because of this, it is an obstacle for this person because it destroys their false narrative that they are the victim. This is the narrative that they've been holding on to. So it's almost like if they were to heal, they would have to admit guilt. They would have to admit that they were wrong about who you are. And so it's an obstacle for this person to face judgment. They fear judgment of other people. And that's what it's about. It's all about being vulnerable and saying, I was wrong. I did this. and I want to be a better person. Now, if they were to say yes, the changes they made would go the distance. Yeah. If they would say yes to healing the abandonment wound, they would be afforded a new opportunity, a new leap of faith to move in a new direction. They would. But this person is so conflicted about healing. They're in fear of healing. Wow. Okay, so the outcome, they're never going to receive what they think they want or what they're trying to obtain. They're going to continue to get to a certain point and lose it all. And it's going to be a repeat pattern for this person in the outcome if they don't heal. Outcome. Wow. So their creative projects, work, career is going to be blocked. They could lose a job. What's happening quickly is this person is married to a love bomber or gaslighter, and there is a collapse, a community collapse here. So there is some sort of, in regards to a third party situation. What is the community collapse? Deception. They don't recognize that they have a whole community working against them in this connection that they're in. Wow. All right, let's look at Treasure Island. Treasure Island. Yeah. You moving on, having victory and success, creating an abundant life has got this person the Four of Cups, knowing that they made an unwise choice. Yeah, they let the ego and passion rule them. And they are facing a very painful ending with deception and betrayal, financial struggle, instability, all because of the investment they made into a karmic third party. Yeah, this is a karmic cycle that's going to end in heartbreak and exposure. All the illusions, all the lies, all the manipulation, all the deception being exposed. There is a cycle completion that is occurring not only for this person, but for you. High Priestess energy. You've been speaking the truth the entire time, and people are going to know the truth that you've been speaking without you having to do a thing. With regeneration, death is occurring. This false emperor, this tyrant, joined forces with a gold digger. They feel like they can't move away from this energy. They're in mental anguish. The reason they feel they can't move away is because they don't think they can survive financially. It's ending anyway, so it doesn't matter, but regeneration. Regeneration. Wow. What's happening quickly for you is your creative projects are paying off. You could be attracting new love or new contracts. This could be business. This can be friendship or divine love. You've learned to love yourself, and you make divine love a priority. You operating in that energy is a priority. And that's why you can expect positive transformation in your life. This person finds it an obstacle to heal because they can see you've learned to love yourself. You rely on your intuition. You cultivate happiness and emotional fulfillment. And it's an obstacle because if this person were to be vulnerable, to speak the truth, to tell what they have done to someone so loving, they don't want to face judgment. They don't want people to judge them. Even though it was wicked, evil, and vile, they're still holding on to the victim mentality. They need to pretend to be the victim. You know, it's also an obstacle because people are aware that since you walked away, you began using your gifts to help others. So it magnifies the vile nature of this person and what they did to come against you, an earth angel. But like I said, justice in the world, it doesn't matter if this person is resistant to heal, if they're resistant to walk away from a karmic dynamic, it's going to end, period. There's no doubt in my mind. It is going to end. If they would say yes to their healing, it would go the distance. If they chose to heal this abandonment wound, there would be a new opportunity made available to them. Go the distance. But it's going to require a lot of work on their part, accountability, being vulnerable, and releasing the fear of judgment and changing who they are. Yeah, they're going to have to put in a lot of work, just like you did, Queen of Pentacles. You are a living example. You are showing this person, I healed my abandonment wound. I'm confident, I'm courageous, I'm creative, I'm independent, I'm abundant. You put in the work. And this person is so mentally conflicted. They are waging war within their own mind. They're saying in the outcome, this person doesn't heal, they're going to lose their job. Nothing that they try to accomplish will pan out. What's happening quickly is they're married to a love bomber or gaslighter, and they have a whole community that is working against them in conjunction with the love bomber gaslighter to deceive them. Tell me about this outcome. Tell me about this outcome. Yeah, this devil energy is going to go through a tower. This is your past person operating in this devil energy is going to face a tower and judgment. So it doesn't matter if they fear judgment, they're going to face judgment anyway. It's going to happen. Treasure Island, because you're having victory and success, someone knows they've missed an opportunity. They made the wrong choice. Treasure Island. Treasure Island. Yeah. See, you rose above everything that this love bomber gaslighter that you were connected to tried to send your way. They're blocked. Good news is headed your way. This could also be you following your spark, following your passion. I do feel like this person wants to message you. They don't want the cycle to end. This person's coming in their ego energy, pretending to be a leader, hoping that you're going to emanate the embodiment of the earth angel energy and show them mercy and grace. Forgiveness doesn't mean re-entry. They're confused. You know the truth. The truth's been revealed and the truth is being exposed. Tell me about the Ace of Swords. Tell me about the Ace of Swords. You're the Nine of Pentacles. The truth's being exposed about who you are, which is someone that is high vibrational, someone that creates, someone that is very abundant. And they're in regret. Wow. All right, let's see. I'm going to do some from the Mystic Red Rose. This is definitely earth-shattering ending for someone. That's what I'm feeling. This is a collapse of their reality because it was a false reality. They've been operating in the energy of deception and envy, and this is a come to Jesus moment for this person. It really is. Yeah. Get back out there, meeting someone new, setting a date and date online. That's in reverse. Whatever prospects they had, they don't have them anymore. This person may have thought they had many options. They don't anymore. You stay in the vibration of love, and this person knows it's over. They know that you are done with their games. You're done with all that they've put you through. Yeah, you're focused on unconditional love, giving and receiving in equal parts, fairness and love, affection returned. You're not wasting your time on someone that has done these things to you. Yeah, you're blocking any conversation. You don't want to talk to this person. Interested in you, blooming romance, flirting, and want to date. No, you don't want to talk. You don't want to date. Not that person. Yeah, because it says things are coming to light, lighthearted and adapt, finding out and change, things coming to light and heal. You've healed. You've gotten the truth and clarity, and you've healed. And you are aligning with a high vibrational soul connection, soulmate, someone that is going to treat you the way you deserve, that leads to a marriage, a wedding, a union. Yeah, you were dealing with somebody that operated from lust and greed, and their finances are being blocked because of this. You know, if this person's been operating this way for so long and they've been getting warning after warning after warning, but it wasn't until they screwed you over, collective, until they did all that they've done to you, that was the final nail in the coffin. They unleashed massive karma in their life. Yeah, you're grounded, you're stable, you're going to experience growth. You've endured through so much BS in your life because you were dealing with a snake. Competition and enemy. The other woman, look over your shoulder. This person wanted to put you in competition. You're not competing for a snake. No, you're not anyone's option. This person's riddled with addictions, codependent, obsession and restraint, possession, control, and emotionally blocked. They're reminiscing about you because they ran out of time. They wanted to live a lifestyle. They wanted to be dark. And so time's up for them. Taking a chance, risk, and options. Not showing hand and gambling. Yeah, they took a gamble, all right. They took a risk. And now they're facing sudden change, shocking news, surprise and epiphany and transformation. This is that life-altering tower, death, ending that's coming for this person. Yeah, this person has a fear of intimacy, running away, intensity and letting go, turmoil and fleeting. They're a runner. And you're making healthy choices. You're loving yourself. You don't want someone that runs. You don't want someone that is easily charmed or used. The snake energy. You're setting boundaries. Setting boundaries with this person. Yeah, this person is not going to rise above what they've done. They're not going to be able to escape the consequences of what they've done. Like I said, they're heading for a life-altering disaster. Rock bottom. Yeah. You're setting boundaries. You're tired of this person's patterns, behavior, outdated thinking. You've ended this. You've grown. You've evolved. You're healing your inner child. You're releasing the past. This person wears a mask. All they do is they operate in this seductive energy, which gross. I mean, you're not even interested. You're not attracted to this person. You get the ick from this person. You're like so dark, low vibrational. There is nothing they have you would ever. In fact, for many of you, I think you're probably saying to yourself, what did I ever see in that person? Ooh. But it was a karmic cycle you had to complete. Yeah, they sabotage. They sabotage everything, every relationship they're in, because they're weak and insecure. Yeah, the blockages you're cutting out, separating, stopping the pattern, silent treatment, you have nothing to say. This person could be heartbroken. Well, they broke their own heart. They lack confidence because they self-sabotage. They operate in ego and fear. They're filled with frustration, but they're lurking behind fake accounts if you have social media watching you. This is who you're separated from. They're watching you because they know it's over. They haven't done any healing. This is a narcissist. Dear Lord, you guys, you know what I have to say about narcissists. Narcissist, it would take an act of God for a narcissist to change. Even during rock bottom, they have free will. It would take an act of God, a near-death experience, a diagnosis. Even still, you can look. Historically, you can look at the research on narcissists. Especially the older they are, they do not change. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but it's so remote. It's so rare. So use your own discernment, guys. I would not. Especially if you've already been through a cycle with someone that you've experienced narcissistic abuse. I wouldn't take that risk. They're not worth it. They are not worth it. Life's too short to waste another moment on a narcissist. Give them to the Lord. Give them to the Lord. Let the Lord deal with them. All right, let's see what else we get. And this could be a man or a woman. My readings are not gender specific. And they're not sign specific either. I don't care what signs come out. I will tell you the sign, but it's not necessarily that sign. It's more about the energy behind the sign. So let's just get a couple from this deck. What's the vibe? This life-altering ending, transformation is unavoidable. They can't avoid it. They're toxic. Drama, arguments, and incompatible. They're not compatible with anyone. They are a walk-in drama. Yeah, they're a narcissist. Again, toxic narcissist. If you wondered, yes, egotistical. They're opportunistic because they have a fragile ego. And now they're trapped, stuck with no options. What did I tell you? They thought they had many options. And maybe when they were with you, maybe they did because they were feeding off your energy, which gave them an ego boost, confidence. They don't have that anymore. They don't have any more options. I think the word is out about who this person is. Yeah. There's a lot of gossip. I said the word is out. There's a lot of gossip going on around this person, this narcissist, and how they live their life. You are this nurturing being. You are calling in soul connections, high vibrational soul connections. You have a lot of wisdom and you give back to others. Word is out about you as well. Yeah, you're hopeful, you're inspired, you're optimistic, and you're having success because you're free of this dark narcissistic energy. Yeah, chaos in reverse, upheaval, disaster, and downfall. Whatever they've done to you, you have overcome it, and now it's being returned to them. Now it's their turn to experience everything you went through. Buckle up, buttercup. This runner's not going to be able to run from the consequences of this experience. Escape, denial, and excuses. Yeah, they're not going to be able to run. And look, it's happening today in the here and now. You're in this good vibes energy. You're staying now and in the moment. You're not focused on the past. This person that continues to operate in lust energy, that's who we're talking about. The one that's suffering in silence. Yes. You are attracting a mutual respect, unity, closeness, a true divine partnership. You're not settling for less because you've leveled up to the divine femme, and that is exactly what you're going to attract. Believe it. Tell me about this person suffering in silence. They're exhausted, burned out, feeling empty, burdened. And they're having an epiphany, being forced to self-reflect, getting the answers, not the lies, but the truth. They could be in isolation, feeling rejected. Now they understand what it felt like to be in your shoes when they worked with a bunch of people to isolate you, to reject you, to lie about you. Now they know what it feels like, or they will soon. Antisocial, in their feelings, silent treatment, feeling left out. That's exactly what they wanted for you. They're emotional. The blockage is emotion, worry, fear. Why are they in so much worry and fear? Because they're confused. They don't know which way to go. They don't know how to escape the situation they're in. They've bound themselves by design. It happened. And they're forced to watch you in this harmonious energy, balance, peace, and happiness. God is using you as a living example. I keep hearing that. Yeah, you could be getting away, relaxing, having fun, enjoying your life, enjoying being free of a narcissist, smelling the roses, slowing down, taking some of you time and getting out in nature, going on adventures, doing things that make you happy. Because you've set boundaries. You drew a line in the sand when it came to disrespectful, narcissistic energies. Enough is enough, and you're defending yourself. Congratulations. You guys are flipping amazing. Yeah, you've done too much healing, self-care, introspection, and meditation to allow this person access to you again. Yeah, somebody that's constantly chasing thrills, continuous cycle, bad decisions due to addictions. Like I said, they can continue to go into 100 or 1,000 different dynamics. They will never achieve what they're setting out to achieve, ever. They envy you. They're resentful, they're competitive, and discontent. That's a narcissist. That's just how they operate. They have to be the center of attention. They have to look like the winner. They're either the victim or the hero. There is no middle ground. There's no accountability, but St. Michael is protecting you from this narcissist and all involved. You have many possibilities. Follow your dreams, make up your mind, and believe in yourself. This person's going to be stuck, stagnant, and frozen in time. Forced to watch you established, settled, secure, and wealthy while they're hiding, concealing, and deceiving, and they're going to pay the consequences for the love affair, whatever they did, whatever nefarious things they did against you, including the love affair. For some of you, it was a third party. But you guys are doing amazing. Keep going. I love you guys so much. I'm going to leave this reading here. I'm scheduling for the 3rd week of October. If you are interested, please share the videos, like, and subscribe, and I will see you for tomorrow's readings. Bye, guys.